Hello, I'm Kate Sergi. I'm the founder of the Abundant Goddess Temple Sisterhood program and retreat. I'm also a spiritual counselor, teacher, and priestess of the Queen of Heaven Order and the Isis Order. So I'm coming to you today on a very special day for two reasons. Firstly, it is the day we open the doors to the Abundant Goddess program and retreat for 2017. And secondly, this is astrologically a very powerful beginning with a new moon in Aries, and both of this I'm going to discuss with you today. But first I want to begin by just saying it is my complete joy to serve you and the goddess within you with these astrological forecasts on the moon cycles and the planet's rhythms, for your own path of awakening, for your illumination and the support of the wider planetary consciousness shifts of our time. We are at an important time in the year. It's the beginning of the zodiac when the sun arrives back into Aries, and with it we receive a surge of new energy, and that's being activated today with the new moon. And this is the time of the program's launch. So perhaps there's also something in your life that also needs to be begun, that needs this launch. This is a special time. It's a very sensitive time moment, the moment I'm sending you this email. So it's not just any new moon. You know, I launch my programs, my work alongside the planets and the stars, so they have that right initiating force behind them, the right energy blueprint. And this supports everybody's transformation, everybody's success when they join the program. And this initiating new moon, which forms on Monday the 28th of March at 3:57 a.m. at 8 degrees Aries, is a perfect time to seed new ideas, new forms of yourself. And working with astrology, and this astrology new year, we are developing our own sense of rhythm here, our own connection to our larger rhythms of the universe, of the equinox in this case, and especially this is a time for seeding this new growth. And with Mars being the ruler of Aries, this is a time about leadership and courage. In spite of feeling afraid, this is my call to you to really step into that leadership, especially as women. And our Abundant Goddess Temple is a space for women to really birth forth into their own unique style of leadership, whatever you're here to lead in. It is a space for women to really discover their calling and their gifts. And we have come together to really transform our own lives in the knowing that this will change the world as well. As women, I believe we need to be bold and we need to step towards realizing this leadership. Let's get interested in what's holding us back, because through getting interested rather than pushing it away, we get better at moving through it. And this is like this new moon perfectly. As while, some fear is obviously required on some level, most of our fears are just like our hesitations around birthing. And we need to work with those hesitations, as it's more of our abundant nature, it's more of our wholeness to work with that. It helps us become more of ourselves. And this is where we need to stay, in this hesitation for a moment, in that place of not really knowing where we're going, of not being sure. There's a lot of power in that uncertainty. If we go into the body, in that not knowing, that's where we can really trust at times. And suspending all the ideas about what's right for us and trusting our body's intuition, which arises from the not knowing, that really lets us birth and create from our spirit, from our abundant goddess within. So this is the perfect time for birthing, a time to plant that seed of what you want to create for yourself in your life, of how you want to see those ripples go forth into your world. And also this exact chart for this exact time you're receiving this email, it has a Cancer rising ruled by this moon in Aries, which is in the 10th house of service. So this is your moment to initiate something important that you want to see manifest in your life. And the moon applying very quickly in succession to Pluto in the 7th house of relationships And Jupiter in the 4th house of the home of the soul, the deep part of our soul, this moment, this launch moment, for me, is about forging powerful relationships, connecting deeply with our souls, and bringing then those gifts with the 10th house, the service, out into the world. Our sisterhood is a real space for forging these powerful relationships where you will feel welcomed, accepted, really witnessed and honored for who you are. A place where you are encouraged to really take up your own unique leader within, where you'll be supported by other women to really expand all the possibilities of who you are. And this vibration is just so perfect for this new moon. And with all the other energies in Aries, with Mercury, Venus, Uranus and Eris, it just feels like a huge calling for a beginner's mind or a beginner's heart, you know. It's like, you know, we'll be returning to that purity of being a child again, essentially. A time when we are empty, when we're not shaded by knowledge or jaded by the world, you know, a time when we can just notice all those possibilities that are open to us, the door being open. That's what it's like to be a child. Never closed. And we just need to learn how to really get more curious, how to notice more of those possibilities that are already open. And women have this innate curiosity and this creativity. And we're really here to free and explore all of these different possibilities and manifestations for our lives. So what stops us already doing this? What's in the way? Well, I think it's this tendency as adults to really just put that label on our experience, to define it already, to package it before we even understand or explore it. And this adult in us really just wants to fixate on things. It wants to stop the process and stagnate. And essentially though, everything is always in motion. Everything is a series of moments. It's always moving. And in truth, we really never know where we're going to go with something, where it's going to take us until we know, until we really know. And we can really trust in our spirit and our intention. If we make it powerful, then we can really get the best from something. And this is the intention for the program. This is the heart of the program, this trust in life, this trust in the divine birthright and abundance in us and the flow of life which our divinity orchestrates and drives. So I want to just encourage you at this new moon to pause and just notice where you stand outside of life and give it an interpretation or meaning. It might just mean this or it might just mean that, for example. Let's just get inside life. Let's just get inside our hearts for a second and really go into that flow of experience. This is where that pace will slow down and we can return to our center. And I think with Venus retrograde right now, it's a time to completely go inside and find our place of gratitude for what life is continually bringing us in this flow, and to forgive what in our era, what we believe to be wrong or bad or whatever, to forgive that, to let it go. Everything can be honored when we go deep inside ourselves and find the essence and truth of the growth that it brought us, of the soul's path, evolution that it brought us. It just requires a moment to go inside and to initiate that path of letting go, letting the goddess take over. And with Venus in retrograde, well, she's telling us that love is ultimately an inside job, that her energy is more internal right now, and we need to take ourselves inside. You know, it's inside out, really. And this is what the program and the Temple of Women at the Heart Center is all about. You know, starting with yourself, of learning how to deeply receive from life before you go and give out life. And this is how we come into the world anyway, as babies. You know, babies just know how to receive. And we need to get back to this initial training, to our first training, and those missteps. So on the 18th of May, Venus completes her re-evaluation of absolutely everything Venus related, of relationships, of beauty, of art, of love, our body, our values, whatever matters most to us. and feeds our hearts. And she goes back to where she was before she started her retrograde on the 18th of May. And this is why I've chosen to begin the program on the 17th of May, which is another pivotal moment in time which charges the program with this internal focus that can then be powerfully taken out into the world to take us forwards. I believe it's saying something like, I take you from the past and into the future, but with a completely new internal wiring. So you will learn how to first receive from the inside and then spread your wings. And when we gather and spread our wings together as women, something miraculous, mysterious, very powerful, and certainly very blissful happens. And this is just my biggest passion. And I am so honoured to feel it myself so intensely when I initiate women. And it's my service and it's my vision to really bestow this beautiful energy that I experience, this witnessing of every other woman as a goddess, with my heart, with my eyes, with my soul, with my hands, my mind. Yeah, just to bestow this gift onto other women in the world. And this is what we are all being urged to remember and to bring to the world in our different ways. So take this time at this new moon and really set your intentions for this next coming cycle. And over the next month and a half, until the beginning of the program on the 17th of May, I will be promoting the program by releasing some really amazing resources that you can begin to get a deep sense of what the program can bring for you and what it can birth in you. So I really hope that you get excited and interested in what it might mean to be an abundant goddess sister in our temple and in our program. So for now, just in keeping with that openness and that curiosity of receiving, I invite you to visit the link below this video and to be sure that you are really on the receiving end of all this amazing content and the early bird fee. Please sign up and join our Abundant Goddess Temple Facebook group. I can already feel the excitement of this summer, what it's going to bring. I can feel it in my body. So I really bless you for listening. Thank you for taking your time. And I am always in service to you. Thank you.